we were talking about the Steelers Browns on Sunday.
Okay.
Who should I take?
Honestly, I say take Pittsburgh just in the defense alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's not just being a homer and saying our defense, because I cover the Browns for another website that I write for, and they've got a good team. They 100% have a good team, and it's great to see that rivalry come back into prominence.
Uh-huh.
But our defense is killer.
And
I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I would still have a hard time betting on Baker Mayfield right now. I mean, I know they're playing great. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I mean, here's the thing. Here's the counterpoint to that. Like, if I had to bet on that game, I would bet Pittsburgh because of Baker Mayfield. Like, you know,
and that's also my point, because I can see somebody like Minka going up, catching a pass that Baker just errantly throws and isn't. You can't throw up all the time and expect Jarvis or Odell to always catch it, and you've lost some key guys, even in that defense. Like, I look at Greedy Williams for Cleveland. Yeah, the guy's been down for a while, and it's just. I don't know if you can come back from some things like that.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh though does kind of concern me. Like, I'm not like when I do my power rankings, I definitely have them in the top 6, but I'm not overly convinced that they're an elite team in the NFL this year or even a top team. I don't know. I feel like they're going to have trouble establishing the run in a lot of games, and then I mean. Big Ben is he's held together by bubble gum and paper clips at this point. So
I won't disagree with you there, and I definitely agree with you on the run, because we've got that kind of running back by committee, which is great at points. But like when Le'Veon got released from the Jets, I said, sweet. I know everybody else in Pittsburgh is going to say hell no, but bring this guy back in and have a legit running back come in, because we need it. And my other biggest thing is you've got Juju as the number 1 wide receiver. And you've got a guy like Deontay Johnson who's been killing it.
Yeah, he's great
for us. But he's just been having these strange,
like that caught like 4 touchdowns.
Chase Claypool, and he's the other guy. Because I say if Deontay doesn't become a number 2, Chase instantly does.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody's looking at that, and I was seeing after last week's game, everybody was like, oh, it's going to be hilarious when all these people pick him up on fantasy, and he catches like 1 pass. This guy is going to make some catches. You're not going to see him get 4 touchdowns a game. That's just asinine. But
well, as a guy who has Juju on his don't
worry, I do too.
So he's on my team that I care the most about. I don't need to be worried about Juju on there.
I don't. I mean, you're gonna obviously have the double coverage and everything.
Yeah.
But if you have any of the other guys, like I say, I don't know if you have any wide receivers who are on a bye or could go into your RB or WRB position. Maybe pick up a Deontay Johnson or if Chase Claypool's open after last week, throw him in there, because you're going to have more catches go to those guys, I feel like, this week.
Crazy as it sounds, I'm actually so loaded at wide receiver that Juju is probably my 3rd or 4th best. So
who else do you have?
So I have Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Robbie Anderson, Juju, and Jameson Crowder.
Well, you got to watch out for Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I'm kind of shopping Michael Thomas right now. So
good luck with that right now.
I know it sucks, but anyways, not to bore people with my fantasy lineups, but
who's your all-time favorite Steeler?
Me, I'm partial. I like Hines Ward a lot. I'm glad that I grew up in.
Dude, you know what? I don't take it personally, but I hate the Steelers just because I'm a Cowboys fan. I wasn't alive.
I hate the Cowboys because I'm a Steelers fan. It's fine.
But Hines Ward is one of my all-time favorite players. That dude was a badass.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people now are ragging on him. They're like, I don't know if he's Hall of Fame material. And I'm like, did you miss the games that this guy had, even going back from when he played in Georgia? Yeah. Like, it was nuts to see. And now, like, because I live in Georgia now, and everybody is still, holy shit, can you believe what Hines has done overall?
Yeah.
And to where he went in the NFL, it's crazy to think. But then, like, I mean, I love looking back even on the teams that I never saw, like the 70s Steelers. I've got a Jack Ham jersey hanging in my room that's signed by the guy, because I'm like, who cannot appreciate that greatness?
Yeah.
Jack Ham's the greatest outside linebacker to ever play the game, and Hines Ward is the greatest blocking receiver ever to play the game. That dude was like a linebacker playing wide receiver.
Well, and then I know I know Ben's getting up there, and I say Ben maybe has a couple years left if that elbow can stay good.
That dude, I hate Ben Roth. I hate him.
But why? That's my biggest
I
question.
I hate him because
He's
you
fat,
have like
dude. He's like he's fat, and he's like been there for 25 years, and I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Well, so I can't stand Ben because when my team plays him, like you have like 4 defensive linemen bounce off of him every freaking down, and then he still like pulls out a pass to Heath Miller out of nowhere. And
that's what I was just about to say. That extra little fat helps shrug guys off.
Yeah, and then also like my earliest Ben Roethlisberger memory is I was in like 3rd grade, like walking. I still remember walking through the halls of my elementary school, being like, "Yeah, can you believe Big Ben? Like, Ben Roethlisberger hasn't lost a game as a rookie." Oh. And I'm 27 now, so that just shows you how old he is. Like, he's been in the league
for
forever.
Sure. He's the only. I think it's him and Phillip are the only ones left from that class, if I'm not wrong.
And Phillip Rivers,
at least quarterback wise.
Yeah, and like that first I know that we're going off on a tangent, but it's fun. The first Super Bowl y'all won against the Seahawks with Big Ben. He just played so awful, and you guys still managed to win because of like Willie Parker and Antoine Randall L. like throwing a reverse touchdown pass, which was a better pass than Ben threw that entire game.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But it's still crazy to think that how lopsided that score was, even with him having such an off game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
I think the refs helped you out a little bit in that game too.
Maybe. I'm not going to disagree with you there. But I mean, I even look at like the 2008 Super Bowl, and what's funny was back then I wasn't as huge of a sports fan as I am now, and I can remember like my parents saying, "Hey, you guys need to come in and watch the Super Bowl," and I was like, great, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. And
now I'm like, man, if I could pay to have that back and actually be excited for that, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. That 2008 team was that was a very good team, I'll admit it.
And everybody still to this day in Pittsburgh, they all say, Mike Tomlin hasn't done anything. I'm ready for him to be fired because the only Super Bowl he won with Bill Cowher's team. And I won't disagree. That was a lot of Bill Cowher's team. But I'm ready to see that man take this team on his back and actually win a Super Bowl. And here, sooner or later, he's got to do it. That's the thing.
I mean, I had to suffer with Jason Garrett for 10 years, so I would personally take Mike Tomlin in a heartbeat.
Now you've got Mike McCarthy, and he's not much better. I mean, have you seen you guys win? You only beat the Falcons, and that's not saying much.
Yeah, I wasn't a McCarthy guy in Green Bay, actually. So I watch a lot of Packers football because all my family are all Packers fans. So I thought that was a dumb hire, to be honest.
Yeah, but he's like a fatter Jason Garrett.
I wish we'll see. Everybody was like, he needs to go to Cleveland. He needs to go to Cleveland. And I said, I still to this day, I like Stefanski as the Browns head coach, but I still think McDaniels would have been a better pick.
Yeah. No, you can't hire a Belichick assistant.
Have you seen what the Dolphins have done?
Yeah, I mean, whatever, but
yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to Miami. I want to talk a little bit more about Kenny Pickett. The guy's like 30.
Sure feels like it.
Is he because I remember he's a pretty mobile quarterback, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay, is he still continuing in those running ways?
As far as I've seen, he has been. I know it hasn't been his greatest season, and to me, my first season really coming in and paying attention was that last. I want to say it was against you guys, and it was the Thanksgiving game where they just pulled it out, and it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened that day, but.
Hey, all I know is that was like literally the first one I sat down and watched, and I said, "Oh my God, how do we do that?" And that's really what rallied me behind this team, because I've seen them do it against them, and then you go into Clemson the next year and just pull that out, and I said, "What?" Yeah. I mean, do you believe in miracles?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, so if you wouldn't mind giving us a score prediction before we wrap things up here.
I think it's close, in all honesty. I'm gonna say Pitt inches it out 30-28.
Okay.
It's going to be close, and that's why I won't be surprised if it's in that field goal range. I know everybody's saying Pitt's the underdog, but if Pitt can keep Miami down and just kind of get that score up and not get lazy, they have a chance to pull it out, but it's a matter of
no disrespect to Pitt or anything, but if they score 30 points on our defense, I will like march down to Miami and raise hell.
Well, if you do, please send videos.
Yeah. I'm just so much more concerned about your guys' defense.
Yeah. I think
what do you guys think the score is going to be then?
So Marsh and I were talking about this before we called you in, and our biggest worry, at least for me, my biggest worry is that Pitt does a lot of the things well that teams like Clemson have exploited us with, and we beat UAB pretty handily to start the season, but like you could see where our weaknesses were in that game. UAB did a good job of exposing our weaknesses. And so that worries me. However, I feel confident in how talented this team is because we have some really, really good dudes on our roster right now. Derek King is one of the most explosive players in college football, and we have some elite players on defense. So I mean, to me, I view this, and I don't mean this is disrespect to Pitt, but I view this as more of like Miami versus themselves mentally.
And I 100% do too. I don't see. That's why I won't be surprised to see Pitt inch it out, just because I could see Miami making some sort of a blunder, most likely on defense.
Yeah. So I have it at 31-17 for Miami. I'm hoping that this is finally the year that we kind of got our pants pulled down against Clemson last week, and historically we don't bounce back from that. Like we get down on ourselves. We have 2 or 3 game losing streaks. I'm thinking that this is the year that changes. So
okay.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. If we come out flat, we're in trouble. So but I'm hoping it's 31-17 for Miami. But, I'm expecting a good game from Pitt.
Now, wait, I just got to ask this because I didn't hear anything from last week. Were you guys expecting to get killed by Clemson, or were you expecting it to be close and ink out a win, or what?
So I'll be completely honest. So I'm usually like the honest Canes fan. I'll call it out when it is, like when I don't think we're going to win. As when the week started, I'm like, yeah, Clemson's probably going to roll us. But then as the week went on, there was like this confidence in Miami fans, and I got caught up in it, and I actually predicted a 4-point win. Yeah. But it wasn't really like I was buying it. I just kind of just said it just to go along with everyone, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah. And then like once the first drive happened, I'm like,
your heart ripped out.
Yeah. Then once the first drive happened, I'm like, yeah, we may lose by 40.
Yeah. I had us as losing by 11, but I expected us to show out better. I expected the optics
were at least realistic.
Yeah, I expected the optics to be better, and where we could walk away from the game and be like, wow, we are, we were hanging with Clemson. It was close until the fourth quarter. Like, we're almost there. Maybe we can compete for a playoff spot next season. But, I mean, dude, we just got our pants pulled down. It was really embarrassing.
Well, but here's the thing, because even for me, I went into the game for you guys and I said, yeah, Clemson's probably going to pull this out. But it's nice to at least see 2 higher-ranked teams go at it, and you expect the best team in the nation, if they really are, to go in and win, even against a number 7 ranked team. That's just what you expect. Just like they should roll Georgia Tech tomorrow.
Yeah.
But to me, at least you guys aren't Florida Gator fans, because that was bad.
No, I loved it last week when they freaking played A&M. That's what made up the
year around Georgia, because I live not far from Athens. Everybody was going ballistic, loving it.
Yeah. If I woke up one day and I was like a Florida Gators fan for some reason, I'd just end it all.
I don't blame you. My older brother's a Penn State fan, and when he moved down here last year, he literally said to me, I can't believe, because my other college team's Ohio State. My wife's
from there. God, get the hell out of here, bro. God.
He goes, wow, I can't believe my brother roots for Ohio State. And I said, well, dude, I root for Pitt. I really can't root for Penn State. That just doesn't work.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I feel you, man.
Okay.
But
All
anyways,
right, Collin,
thank you so
much for coming on, brother. This was a lot of fun.
Well, hey, thank you guys. If you ever need anybody else, or you guys just want to talk some NFL, I'm more than happy to come back on.
Yep.
All right, we may take you up